So Alyssa Milano kind of always has been this very radical left-wing person and has said just a bunch of questionable woke things online before, gets destroyed in this TikTok video by this black woman.
For those of us who are not black men, imagine watching the news and seeing how people...
Imagine being a black man and being told by some white lady with a microphone that you and the criminal on TV are one and the same because you look alike. Imagine being told by society that white people can be all that they can be, but you as a black man, the content of your character is completely irrelevant. You are the color of your skin and that is all you will ever be. Imagine being told you can't figure out how to vote because of the color of your skin. Socioeconomics affects everyone, but apparently you're not as smart as the poorest white person. Lady, I don't want to hate you. I'm a 90s kid. I grew up with you. So I know you're very talented. I understand your heart is in the right place, but you are everything you preach against. You're not helping. You're making things worse. You're causing more division. You're causing more fear. Statistically speaking, I am more likely to be shot and killed by my black elderly neighbor across the street than the cop who patrols my neighborhood. Statistically speaking, homicide by cop is very rare, but people like you find power in fear, so you keep it front page news. You don't have to be a white supremacist. You can be better.
Wow. Alyssa Milano's views make her a white supremacist. I mean, we've been saying this for the longest period of time, by the way. This is nothing new, but I mean, it is a reality because you have to think that if you are a person like her that believes that black people cannot obey the law, that they just can't, they have to commit crimes at a much higher rate than any other race in the United States, even though they're only 13% of the population. If you believe that they just can't help themselves but to consistently commit crimes, that makes you a racist. It does. It doesn't matter if you mean well by those statements and think you're so woke by saying it. That's what she feels. That they are not able to have any type of personal responsibility enough to not do those things. People often talk about this, but people forget that the Democrats are the party of the KKK. They literally are. They were the ones that were pushing segregation back then. They were the ones that were trying to maintain segregation laws back then. Jim Crow, you name it. That was the Democrats. And everybody wants to say, but they're so different now. They've changed. They've taken on a new path. The parties have switched, you see. It's the Democrats that are now the good people and the conservatives that are the party of the KKK. Is that really what's going on? No, it's not. And the reason why is one need look at the very foundation of what it means to be a Democrat. Race is everything. Race is everything fueled them back then during the KKK, saying that race is so important. Black people are lesser than white people. So therefore, we must segregate our societies and everybody must be beholden to their race as the single most important thing about them. It determines where you sit on a bus. It determines what restaurants you go to. It determines what water fountain you use in the bathrooms you go to. That's what we were told. Now, they're telling us the same thing. Race is everything. And in this situation, they're saying black people need their own space because otherwise they'll be oppressed by white people. They can't do well with being around other races of people at the same time. Race is everything. Let's make sure that we have affirmative action in schools because they can't get high enough test scores on their own. They can't get into a college without the government assistance. They can't get a job and live a normal life. They can't get an education. They can't stop committing crimes. But we're so woke. We're so progressive because race is everything. It's the same party. They've been doing the same thing for 100 years. Let's not pretend as if all of a sudden that it's different all of a sudden. It isn't. The only party that's actually going to be any different, and the only way they change is by saying race doesn't matter. Let's judge people on individuals. Oh, wait, that's a conservative. That's not a Democrat at all. So that's where you have these problems crop up with these people. And they'll never be able to understand it, I don't think. But at least good on this black woman here for dismantling her in such a just casual way. Just point by point by point. Just these are all the things that are wrong with what you're saying. You're not able to, you mean well, and I know you mean well, but you're ultimately doing more harm than good. So great to see her talking about this stuff, and hopefully we see more people come out and make these videos like this, talking and debunking the ridiculous amount of things that happen to with what these celebrities say. Alyssa Milano, I hope she watches this. I doubt she will, but I hope she watches it because she needs to see this. She does. Every Democrat needs to see these things. And we need more black people stepping up and saying, no, we're not going to accept this. These lies that blatantly ignore the reality on the ground, that blatantly ignore the numbers. We're not going to accept it.